Yeah, it's time for some straight talk. It's 9 o'clock on a Friday night. What are you doing? Well, we got the next hour. We're going to talk about a little bit about the Masters. Not a lot about that. That's coming up next week, not this week, but we're going to talk about stand your ground laws. Incident that occurred overnight here. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about what we talked about it last week, but we're going to get into it a little bit more this week about incidents of Gene, welcome to the show. About texting laws while driving, and a little bit about another update on red light cameras. We also, April Fool's Day tomorrow. I got some great April Fool's jokes for you. So, and then we're also going to talk about, if I get time, I'm going to talk about them, but it might be too long a subject. Might have to wait to another show. But the Drexel professor tweet. So if you haven't heard about it, we'll talk about that later. But Shell Houston Open going on. Some notables really missed the cut there, which was kind of surprising. You had Jordan Spieth missed the cut. Dustin Johnson bowed out before because he won last week. He withdrew early. Adam Scott, Patrick Reed, Hendrik Stenson, Matt Kuchar, and Lee Westwood. So guys getting ready for the Masters. Well, they're going to have a little bit of earlier prep time than they planned on it. But, a lot of the guys like to play the week right before the Masters, so they're all geared up for it. And officially, Tiger withdrew from the Masters. But before we get into that, Sung Kang shot 65-63 to go lead at the halfway point at the Shell Houston Open. He's got a 6-shot lead over Hudson Swafford and Russell Henley, and 7 over Ricky Fowler. So, there's a lot of big names in this tournament, but boy, that Sung Kang is just going crazy. So, you hope he keeps it up. I'd like to see a guy, I don't want to see a guy lose a tournament like that, but running away with it right now. Ricky Fowler shot 8 under yesterday, comes out for his second round, and he's down by 7 shots. That's a little mentally defeating when you play that great in your first round, and then you come out for your second round and you're 7 shots back. You're like, hey, well, wait a minute, I shot 64 yesterday. Well, oh well, it's a different day. Those guys just go low, go low, go low. But apparently Tiger made it official. He says, unfortunately, I won't be playing in this year's Masters. I did everything I could to play, but my back rehab didn't allow me to get time to get tournament ready, he said. Now, Wood said in a statement, I especially upset. It's my special anniversary for me. It's 20 years. He says, I have no timetable for my return. I will continue my diligent efforts to recover and want to get back out there as soon as possible. I'm hoping he gets back out there quickly. So I'm hoping he's at least back by the U.S. Open. We'll see. So will he go down and make an official appearance? I think he should. That would be great. To see him show up to the Masters and at least go to the dinner and stuff like that. Show your, how you respect others and stuff like that. Respect the other players involved. But no, I wanted to do is talk about, we had an incident. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't want to talk. I forgot this weekend, opening day, Major League Baseball opening day. Sunday. Games that are on slated for Sunday are Yankees, Rays, Giants, Diamondbacks, and I gotta love to say this, the world champion Chicago Cubs are playing the St. Louis Cardinals. So, never get tired of hearing that. So it'll be, and then all Monday, I think everybody else is slated for Monday. So that should be, pretty much everybody else is playing on Monday. But at a little while, they had a little preseason baseball going on, and a swarm of bees made a visit to the game. Apparently, I'm sorry, I don't like to mess with bees at all, but apparently they swarmed the field, and all the players in the infield laid on the ground until the swarm of bees got out of there. That's a little freaky. You know, you think about, you know, if you're getting attacked by them or something like that, that would be kind of crazy. But, yeah, it was a Padres-Rockies game. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Nope, not going to mess with them. Really not interested in getting stung a couple thousand times, but give them all the respect they need. You know, let them go. But, no, I wanted to do is talk about stand your ground laws. What happened was we had an incident that occurred here, attempted burglary last night. Resident woke up. He says, and this is according to the local PD, as the police say a group of people up to no good were chased away by a resident with a shotgun early Friday morning. Rogerio, thank you. But he said the incident happened about 5:12 this morning. So police said the resident, 30-year-old, was asleep and woke up to the sound of his back door being kicked in. And it says he grabbed a shotgun, confronted several people on his porch. When they saw the gun, they ran from the home. He told police he shot a round off in the air as they're running away, and another when they got in the vehicle in the alley and sped off. He said, what's wrong with the situation here? All right. Police show up. They respond to the scene. They question him to what happened. The people ran away. Sure enough, they attempted to break into his property. They didn't get in. But once they went to retreat, he fires a round off in the air. Fires another one off in the air when they're going to get in their car. That's his mistake right there. So he was charged with discharging a firearm within the city limits. It said police are investigating the attempted burglary. Anyone with information should call the number they got for it is 563-326-6125 or submit an anonymous tip via their mobile app, City Connect, Davenport, Iowa. So if you know anything about it, you could submit it that way. So people going, well, what did he get? What he didn't do anything wrong. He got in trouble. Yes, he did. He fired off the round in the city limits. I know somebody that lives. One of the ladies that works for me, she lives probably 4 blocks from there, maybe 5 blocks. She said her husband heard the shotgun sound. And they go, well, he fired it up in the air. It didn't do any good. And he was the one that was the victim. I'm like, well, he's the victim until he becomes the aggressor and chases him out the side. They've already are leaving. They're already going away from the property. He needs to call 911 and stand there and wait until the police arrive. Keep his shotgun. That's fine. Don't put the shotgun down. You're there to defend yourself. But what I got curious was, I started looking up stand your ground laws in different states. Ever since this incident, it said many states have enacted so-called stand your ground laws that remove the duty to retreat. Using force in self-defense. Florida passed the first such stand your ground law in 2005, which means it generally allows people to stand their ground instead of retreating if they reasonably believe doing so will prevent death or great bodily harm. Other states follow with laws specifically affirming one's rights to defend themselves, even outside their homes, and with deadly force if necessary. He said the wording of each state laws will vary, but typically require you to have the right to be at a location. State self-defense laws may also overlap, but generally fall into three general categories. The first category is called stand your ground, of course. It says no duty to retreat from the situation before resorting to deadly force, not limited to your property, home, office, etc. The other one is castle doctrine. It says limited to real property, such as your home, yard, or private office. No duty to retreat. Use of deadly force against intruders is legal in most situations. It says some states like Missouri and Ohio even include personal vehicles. So, the third one was the third instance is duty to retreat. And duty to retreat must retreat from a situation if you feel threatened. Use of force is considered a last resort. It says may not use deadly force if you are safely inside your home. Well, you could be inside your home and not be safe. So if somebody breaks it, if you're inside your home and a person's threatening you from outside, I can understand. But if you're inside your home and somebody is threatening and kicking in a door and coming into your home, well, now I have the fear of somebody going to come kill me. That's where I'm in that fear there. So, yeah, it's a real sticky situation. The states that have passed stand your ground laws are Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Michigan, Mississippi, Montana, Nevada, New Hampshire, North Carolina, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, and West Virginia. Duty to retreat states are Arkansas, Connecticut, Delaware, Hawaii, Iowa, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Missouri, Minnesota, Nebraska, New Jersey, New York, North Dakota, Rhode Island, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. And some states have self-defense laws on the book that are similar to stand your ground, often with at least one key difference. It says these laws generally apply only to the home and or real property, such as an office, and are often referred to as what we call castle doctrine or defensive habitation laws. Most U.S. states have castle doctrine laws, including California, Illinois, Iowa, Oregon, and Washington. So you don't want, Corey, not a good idea to drag them into the house, because if once you do that, they're going to find out you did that. The thing is, they better be inside your house. If they and I guarantee you, if you wake up at 3:00 in the morning and somebody's breaking into your house and they get into your house, if you're not in fear of your life, something's wrong. I don't know why. You must be the baddest mo ever to sit there in your house and not be in fear of your life. I mean, because if somebody's coming into your house at 3:00 in the morning, they're not coming in to do do a pedicure, and style your hair. Well, they might want to style your hair, but it's going to be, they're going to wig you, if you want to call it. So, yeah, I think if you're in your house and you defend yourself, almost every state you're going to be fine. I don't know how you wake up in the middle of the night and defend yourself and be able to have a duty to retreat, because I don't know how you could retreat, because to run out of your house, what are you going to do in that situation? Well, I've been talking about the last few shows. They've been having scams go around. They've been having things. One of the new scams they have right now, and this happens during the day, a lot of residential break-ins happen during the day when you're gone at work. They watch to see who leaves, or they do is they send a group up to the door, knock on the door, pretend like they're soliciting or going around doing, pretending like from the different, the water company or the whatever, and they'll find out nobody's home, and then they'll have somebody come back and try to break into the house. Well, one of the things they've done now is they have people that will go and say, "Hey, we need you to come outside and look at your this on your property here," and then somebody will run in the house after they've got them out of the house. Yeah, it's amazing how people are dishonest beyond all belief. It's unbelievable. I mean, they'll do anything. I mean, you got people that are delivering packages, stealing packages, or people dropping off packages and somebody driving up after they see it on your porch and stealing it. They'll do anything. So, but getting back to stand your ground laws, there was an incident that occurred. I can't remember what state it is, but it was I didn't want to say it was a teenager, or they broke into the house and ended up shooting 3 of them. I always consider a handgun at home is like having a fire extinguisher or parachute. A gun at home is better to have one and not need it than to need it and not have it. Exactly like a fire extinguisher and a parachute. Better to have that fire extinguisher and not need it than to need one and not have it. Because you don't know. You can't forecast the crime. You can't forecast when they're going to do what it is. I mean, when somebody's going to break into your house. I don't know. I am very overly cautious about what goes on around the neighborhood. I'm constantly, I'll get out, and it's me the way I am. I'll be ready to go to work and I'll be driving. I go, wait a minute, I don't recognize that car. I'll write down license plates as I'm going to work. I'll memorize what kind of car it was and write down the license plate. And the reason why I do it is because it just, something triggers in me. Being an ex-police officer, that's what you do. Things like that pop up. That doesn't look right. Something doesn't look right there. You know your neighborhood. You know your area. Somebody that's in your area that you don't recognize, write it down. Keep track of it. Get a little, there you go. There we go. Little Mead memo pad. Here they are. I carry one of these around with me. And that's probably keeping back from, being former law enforcement. I carry one of those around with me to write down notes and stuff like that. I mean, you never know when you're going to need one. You got cell phones. Yeah, they're great. But when you got to jot something down fast, it's hard to get in and do that. But you know your neighborhood. You know when something's out of norm. It's like you walk into your house. You can walk into your house and see something and go, wait a minute. Something doesn't look right here. You're going to be able to pick that out from the get-go. It's not like you can, if something's out of place, you're going to pick it out pretty fast. I don't think you should have to do is retreat in your own house. It's already gone to the level in fear that I'm in fear of my life. I feel like if I go to retreat outside the house, I don't know what's outside the house. I don't know if they have somebody else waiting out there for me. And I'm not going to go outside my house to confront them. Okay. Corey, Corey, welcome to the show. But it says, I want to do is read what Corey wrote on here in case you're on Ustream or if you're on TuneIn or Spreaker. Corey wrote, so Matt, if someone broke into your house and you hear them, grab your gun and you shoot them as they're going out the window and they fall outside on the ground. Then when the cops get there, they see he was shot and is still conscious and tells you shot him when he was outside. Then what? Well, one thing about it is, if you see somebody and they're going out the window, you're not in fear of your life. They're already retreating from you. You're going to call. If I see somebody, I'm not going to shoot them as they're going out my window. If they're going out, I'm going to call 911. We had an incident, my neighbor, 2 houses from me. This is kind of freaky situation here. This happened, I'm not quite sure how long ago, but it's been a little while. We had a rash of house break-ins. Well, it was at night. Her husband happened to be out of town. Somebody broke into the house. She locked herself in the bedroom and was on the phone with 911, and the door handle was somebody was messing with, turning the door handle. She could see the door handle moving. The paranoia that has to be with this lady you're almost getting to the level where you're going to shoot through the door. But, I mean, you don't know who's on the other side of the door. So you got to wait for that door to open. And I don't know if she's armed or not. I'm not going to go visit her at night, to find out. But, I mean, just the trauma, the mental anguish that she has, the fear is there. It's way beyond. So if you see somebody leaving, because if you startle them and they go running to go out the window, you don't have a duty you don't have that authority to shoot them. Or that's not the stand your ground law. You're shooting somebody that's fleeing away from you. But if you have somebody that's broken in and you come out and you walk out in your hallway, let's say you got a hallway and they're right there and they go to come at you, I'm sorry, but he's fair game. He's probably going to look like Swiss cheese. I carry, and just to show you how close it's handy, there it is right there. I have something that's close by. And the reason why I have it is because you never know. Yeah, it's okay to have it locked up. Yeah. Be prepared. Make sure your family understands what to do in a situation if they see the gun or if somebody breaks in. You have to do is allow them to teach them how to protect themselves. You can't be there all the time. And if you want your family members to be safe, with the way society is nowadays, people come into people's houses and break in. It's scary. We've had rash of break-ins. They go in cycles. Luckily, we've been, and I knock on some wood when I say that, it's been quiet here. So hopefully it stays that way. We, you never know when it's going to be your time when somebody breaks in. But, it's always like that one commercial where you hear the lady where she loves that. Oh, is that suede? Oh, I really like that. You just think about somebody breaking into your house. A lot of people don't realize when they go buy all these fancy big TVs and, all the different stuff and the fancy, computers and all the different stuff. And what do? They throw the boxes up at the curb. Well, you're just advertising what you got. I always like to do is break everything down that you get and you got that recycled container thing, put it in there. Don't let everybody see. Don't stick the big empty boxes out there because what do? You just told everybody, wow, you got a 55-inch TV. And people, they pick up on that stuff. So always protect yourself. Lock your doors. Let everybody know where everybody's at. Don't think, okay, stand your ground law. Well, if my son comes home, and if they're going to come home, let's say you got somebody at college. Don't surprise somebody coming in the door when they don't expect it. Tell them, hey, I got off earlier. I'm coming home from school this week because I got a daughter at college right now. Have her come home. If she try to make a surprise visit coming in the door, that would probably freak me out. I wouldn't expect somebody to be coming in. So we had one night when they were doing my roof. We were having the roof done. Well, the roofer dropped off all the shingles, and they tried to steal all the shingles the one night. Luckily, I happened to hear them, and I heard them move my trash can. And I knew, once I heard the trash can move, I flipped on the light. There was a trail of shingles going out to the road almost. Yeah, so, I mean, I didn't go out there, what was it? Not Barney Fife, but who was it on Lethal Weapon? Leo Getz. There he is. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. Whatever, yeah, Leo Getz. Yeah, so when he's running with the gun like this, I didn't go running out there. You do is let the police officers handle their job. Report. But, I mean, flip on the light. You scare the people off. Yeah, Leo, you're right. I couldn't remember his name, but he's probably one of the classic. I just don't know how he can play that role and play a mobster tough guy. It just amazes me. What versatility, yeah. But, it's, stand your ground law. You make sure you know what your state is. Florida with the Trayvon Martin deal. The stand your ground law was with, I'm trying to think of his name. I don't know whether he had was able to retreat or not. Well, they found him not guilty because of the stand your ground law and the facts of the case. They're going to be putting out I guess it's a 25-year documentary, or 25 years of since the L.A. riots from when Rodney King. I remember I was going through crime scene, use of force intermediate and crime scene intermediate for my intermediate peace officer license when I was down in Texas, and we were studying the Rodney King trial, or Rodney King incident. There's actually, they showed us 7 seconds of video they never show on TV. And the reason why they cut it to where they want you to form an opinion. It's like, Trayvon Martin, when they showed pictures of him, they showed him young pictures of him. Well, he's like 19. He didn't look like a lot of the pictures they showed. So, they want to do is craft opinion. When they, Michael Brown, they show you pictures of him, they show most pictures of him when he had his graduating from high school. They don't want to show any negative pictures of him. I'm not saying there were a ton of negative pictures of him, but there's going to be negative pictures of everybody. I'm sorry, but if you're anywhere on the internet, they're going to have some negative pictures of it. That's the sad part of it. So, no, but we talked about stand your ground. Make sure you check your state. Make sure you check your whether you have to have a right to, where you have to retreat. Also, last week we talked about texting while driving. So we got into that situation and we talked a little bit about that. And there are states right now that are trying to do is, and I can't believe that most states don't adopt a complete ban where you need a hands-free device to be able to use it. The only exception, Iowa, you can still talk on your phone. You can still use the phone, but it's going to end. I guarantee you they're going to end up being probably a statewide ban. The texting will be I mean, it's every day I see somebody texting on their phone when you're driving. It's very common. But the only people that are exempt are doctors when they're running to and from the hospital or whatever like that, and they're called, or and they get pulled over for talking on their phone. You know, they pretty much can do is show what happened, and they'll let them go. But the doctors have for emergency purposes, and I agree with it. I think it's great. Yeah, my son, when he had his learner's permit, he couldn't have anybody in his car. I take it back. When he was his 16 years old, when he got his probationary license, when his learner's permit, he had to be with a licensed driver, of course. But when he was 16 years old, he couldn't even have. I think it was they couldn't have the cell phone, and they could not have. They couldn't have. There was something about the radio. They couldn't have the radio on or something like that. And then they have to do is get to a certain, I don't know, 17 or 18 or whatever. I think it's 17. They got his full license, and he was able to have amount of people in his car that fits the seats. So you couldn't cram 4 people in the back when it's only supposed to be 3 people across that have 3 seat belts, and everybody has to be seat belted in. So, yeah, I think that's a good thing. I do like my car. If he takes my car, and a lot of times I'll let him, my car is new enough to where if he wants to go places, I can do is locate my car by my cell phone, and I know exactly where he's at. So that's one of the good reasons about having it like it is. With that OnStar. And OnStar is not a bad thing to have, because you get in a crash, they're going to immediately detect it. So, yeah, I think that that texting option should be. I talked about that last week. They need to do is the programmers need to get together. I tell you what, I might end up doing is pitching an idea to Apple or something like that. See who would be the first one to come out with that. They have Missouri lawmakers are tried to advance a plan to ban red light cameras. I don't have any problem with red light cameras. I talked about the only problem I have is the company that they agree with shouldn't get half the money. Should be one set fee. Buy the camera, pay a maintenance agreement or whatever on it, and that's it. So, but the people in Missouri are upset because the one representative's wife got a ticket for, they said they were taking their son to the emergency room. Well, then go to court and fight that. It says a real life human being officer would have never done that. Well, that takes the officer out of the doesn't have to do is make that judgment call. Heck, they had here where a funeral procession went through the red light camera, and everybody in the funeral procession, bing, 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 all got tickets. What'd they do when they found out it was a funeral procession? They threw the tickets out. That I know that I think, and I'm almost positive, that every ticket on a red light camera is viewed by an officer in, on the camera. And sure, they miss some. And yeah, it's going to be pretty much cut and dried. They're not going to go and go, oh, okay, well, all right, you were going to the hospital. Hey, if I'm taking my kid to the hospital and I get a ticket for whatever it is, the red light camera, I'm sorry, I'm taking my kid to the hospital. I'll take the ticket. Oh, well. But they're talking about doing is holding back your state tax return for unpaid red light camera and speed camera tickets. So try to make sure that you pay them if you plan on getting a return. They have, we got, we had, let's see here. I already talked about that. But police are searching in, let me see. In Michigan, are searching for a $2,000 inflatable beer bottle. A giant, one of those giant blow-up beer bottles. Well, it's valued at $2,000. It's 12 foot tall. Kalamazoo Public Safety released a photo of a man police said was caught on surveillance camera taking a giant inflatable bottle of Oberon beer from its spot in Radisson Hotel at 4:30 a.m. So, suspects say it might have been the company of another subject at the time the theft. You know, you don't think about those big, giant blow-up things like that costing $2,000. So he probably did it as a prank, and he's looking at a felony. Corey says, I bought my girlfriend a flashlight that is incredibly bright to blind an attacker. But if she flips the button the other way, she turns the flashlight around and it hits them with the other end. It's a taser. Well, that's pretty cool. Just a note, she goes to the medical appointments in Boston and parks in the parking lot. The only thing, I have no problem with that. A taser, a real strong flashlight, that's great. I always like them doing is when they go to those medical clinics, having people walk them out when they walk to their car. You know, because there has been incidents in parking garages all the time. But the one thing I dislike about the tasers are, it's not the kind of taser you would get with the law enforcement with a prong stick into you. It's the kind where they just contact. So she has to make sure that she gets a skin contact or very tight clothes, because if they got a jacket, they might not hit them. Yeah, they need to walk them out. But what happens is on a skin contact, like if I were her, I don't care if I hurt them. I'm going to stick that taser right to their face. Because if they're coming up to grab me, I'm going to take that taser, stick it right up at the bottom of their chin, or stick it right in their nose. I don't care. I want to do anything to get away. I teach self-defense. I teach Taekwondo. The biggest thing you want to do is don't let them get a hold of you. Don't always protect your head. Hands up and around here. I'd rather take one to the hand and have it hit my head than take it straight to the head. That's what I always tell people. If you ever get multiple people are going to attack you, back yourself up to the wall so you can't get hit from behind. But having a flashlight like that with a taser on it, that's awesome. I think most women should have that. They should carry it in their hand when they're walking out, and carry it to where when you hold a flashlight. Oh, I don't have mine right here. But hold it to where you're holding it, where you hold your flashlight like this. So when you're walking along, you're holding the taser part this way. So it's forward. So if you go like this for your flashlight, this for your taser, this you can just stick it right up in their face if they go to do anything. You don't want to hold it to where you have to go like this to taser them, because it's not a natural movement. You're not going to be able to turn your hand around. You want it to where you turn your flashlight like this, like you would like an officer when they're looking in a window. This way you can taser the person right to their chin, holding it forward. They had, I saw a person that had a glove on, and they had the flashlight was on their glove. So they didn't actually have to hold it. I thought that was so cool. They make these little stocking caps that have them now. But, I mean, you always want to protect yourself. You always hear about these incidents about people getting, the knockout game and stupid stuff like that. what kills me is the people that do that knockout, the stupid knockout games. How would they feel if their family, that happened to their family? You know, they think it's funny. They think it's okay to go knock somebody out, walk up and hit somebody when they're not looking. But I guarantee they have a total different opinion of that. One, if somebody did it to them, they're by themselves. And two, if it happened to their family. But, you know, speaking of tasers, there was an individual that was had a cane seized going through TSA. So, it said TSA seized a cane from Kahului Airport in the island of Maui. It said inspected passenger's cane recently discovered it was designed to do more than help the user walk, they say. It says the mobility device, it's a self-defense weapon. It's not allowed in your carry-on property. It delivers 1 million volts. Said the TSA said the device is known as the stun cane. And it's included under the category of stun devices. They are banned from carry-on luggage. Concealed stun devices can lead to fines and arrests, the agency said. But 1 million volts? That'll wake somebody up. That'll put a little hitch in the get-along, as you like to call it. But, you know, that's the first time I've ever... You know, I've heard of 50,000 volts or whatever it is. But 1 million volts? You could probably kill somebody with that. They have, what is it? Talking about, this is an article that came out. They said German thieves, or German police are looking for thieves who stole a gold coin. Says, Berlin police say suspects stole off with a gold coin worth millions. Police said this would happen, I guess, last Tuesday. It said at least 2 burglars broke into Bode Museum early Monday morning, used a ladder to climb in from a window from elevated railway tracks alongside the building. The thieves grabbed the big maple leaf coin on loan to the museum coin collection, loaded it. And you go loaded, and you go, wait a minute, this isn't the real or normal coin. Loaded it onto a wheelbarrow, then carted it out of the building along the tracks. Said the coin is worth $4.5 million. It says, police say the 3-centimeter, 1.2-inch thick coin with a diameter of 53 centimeters, which is 20.9 inches, and worth $4.5 million for gold alone, was likely damaged in the theft. It says it weighs 221 pounds. So it's not something that you just pick up and, take away. But, 221-pound gold coin worth $4.5 million. I wonder how you're going to do is you're not going to be able to walk in and go, hey, I found this. The only way I think they could do it is if they melt it down, but that's probably going to... I don't know. I just think it's crazy how they get in and do that. Kind of like the guy who stole the bag off the armored car full of gold flakes or whatever it was, And I'm like, it weighed like 80 pounds, and he just walks off with it. Nobody stopped him. And I haven't heard any update to say that he's been arrested. And maybe he has, but who knows. But for one of our last police stories, I might. We had a man that was arrested, or not arrested, I'm sorry. He was freed. Apparently, after losing a bet, a man in Houston was duct tape to a yield sign. Houston police responded to multiple calls about a man duct taped to a yield sign. Arrived to find a man who had lost a bet, and they nearly tased his friend. Police responded Wednesday to an intersection in northeast Houston, where a driver reportedly seeing a man duct taped to a yield sign. They arrived to find a second man with a knife approaching the taped individual. He said, "Drop the knife or I'll tase you," quoted officer shouting at the man. Police soon discovered the man was actually attempting to cut down his friend, who had been taped to the sign as punishment for losing a bet. Chavez says he lost a bet placed on the Houston Rockets Golden State Warriors game. He said punishment was either to allow himself to be duct taped to a sign, or either allow him to be duct taped to a streetcar sign or a car, so he decided to flip a coin. Heads was for the pole, tails was for the car, landed on heads, and everything went from there. So police helped Chavez down from the pole, gave him a ride home. No charges were filed with the incident. And is a kind of a funny-looking picture. He's like 2 feet off the ground, hanging, duct taped to the pole. So, I know somebody who lost a bet and got a tattoo because they lost a bet. So, yeah, it's bets like that I don't like making because you lose a bet like that, you can end up, being it for life. Well, what's tomorrow? April Fool's Day. So, tons of April Fool's pranks out there. A couple April Fool's ideas for you to get your mother, brother, significant other, wife, spouse, whatever you want to call it. Insect lamps. They cut out the shape of an insect, stick it on the inside of the lamp so it looks like a bug's crawling around on the inside of the lamp. Yeah, and looks like a pretty funny one. This one, I would be pissed if this happened. Infinite car loop of shopping carts around their car. To stick shopping carts and hook them all together. So, yeah, that'd be pretty wild. They have also, this one is almost cruel. Attach an air horn to the bottom of their seat so when they sit down, this would be great in the workplace. I would see probably, or that or do it to the toilet. And that would seriously help people get, what out. And if they got a digital mouse, tape a piece of paper to the bottom of it. So they will be moving their mouse around and nothing works. My wife loves playing pranks on our kids. Make caramel apples, but substitute the apples and make them onions. Make caramel onions. So, that's cruel. Hang a picture of Kim Jong-un on the staff picture wall. Take that one to work. It says, make Mentos ice bomb for your friends. Oh, that would be cruel. So you know when it starts to thaw out, what's it going to do? Replace air fresheners with shrimp scent. Oh, that's cruel. Put a fake snake in the head of lettuce at Walmart. Oh, my. Leave a surprise for whoever redoes the carpet. Oh, God, that one would be bad. And they put Get Out with, like, these blood hands where they slide all the way over to the vent. I'm like, that would be a little while. Paint soap with clear nail polish and leave it in the shower. Oh. Put pants with shoes and make it look like the stall's occupied. Empty can of cat food put on the seat of the car. Yeah. Oh, my. cups full of water. They did it the whole school hallway. So they're like every so many inches. Holy crap. I mean, it was like amazing. If you knocked one over, you're going to be knocking them all over. Oh, it says what they do is they put glasses of water and they slide it out. And so the glass is sitting on the table with the water stuck in it. So if they go to lift it up, the water is going to go out. My wife one year, oh God, a Mentos prank. Wow. And what it does is they put it, they trim the ends of it so when you go to open up the Coke, the Mentos falls inside and the Coke shoots out. But my wife she was telling the kids they need to do is rinse their dishes when they get done in the morning. So she taped the sprayer on the sink. So when they turned on the sink, the sprayer shot them in the face. I was like, oh, that's a classic. Oh my, no, that one's bad. Chicken soup shower. It says put a piece of broth in the faucet. I'm like, no thanks. Oh, let's see here. Turn their cubicle into a bathroom. Oh God, that would be a lot of work to do that. Well, that's a couple of good ones in there. But, I mean, there's always one. There's always good. I saw a great one, but it backfired on the dad. The dad was over there, and he says, son, I caught a bird. And he goes, get ready. And he's holding a bowl on the ground. And he's like, all right, you got to be fast. When I lift the bowl up, you grab him. And he says, all right, I'm getting ready to lift it up. And you grab him. And the little kid, he lifted the lid up. The kid reached over and grabbed it. And it was a dog turd. And the kid stuck his hand right in it. Well, the kid looked at his hand and just reached up and wiped it right across his dad's face. And I was like, got you paid back for doing that. I said, that was classic. Little kid. I said, so you always got to be careful. We used to do that, and when I was in the service, we'd end up shaving cream, put the gel shaving cream in guys' ears when they were sleeping. Well, as a prank, one of the guys filled the guy's boots with shaving cream. I never seen a guy so pissed off, so he thought that was funny. So the guy got him back. He took one of his sheets and cut out about a section about, maybe 3 inches by 6 inches so he could shine his boots with it. And the guy lifts up his sheet, and he's got a giant hole in it, and he's got to go turn in sheets. We used to have to turn them in every week. And he's like, oh, my God, I'm going to get in so much trouble. But here's one. A ketchup prank. Grab your biggest knife, then cover your hand in ketchup, run into an occupied room screaming. If you're lucky, you'll get to hear your mom curse for the first time ever. Now, put plastic, the Scotch tape over somebody's optical sensor on the mouse. That'll work good. But there's always really good ones you hear about. You'll see them I can't wait to see some on Facebook. But be careful, because you never know. You might be the recipient of them. So if you're the one that likes to give them out, be ready. You might be getting them back. So April Fool's Day, tomorrow, hard to believe. March went by. Actually, we had better weather in March. And now that April's coming in here, it's raining every day. So, yeah, we're talking about maybe seeing the sun tomorrow for a little bit. I hope so. It's supposed to start out cold. But, yeah, it's just been a great... February was nice beginning of March was nice, and now it turns. So, yeah, it always seems to do that in April. April showers bring May flowers. Is that what they say? So, we have, guy built this bumper car. World's fastest bumper car. He was a British inventor. Imagine this, a little bumper car goes 100 miles an hour. Not with me in it. I'm sorry, you wipe out in one of those, you're dead. So, yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, rain, go away. You ain't kidding. Here you go. You have that trouble falling, or, getting tired at work and you need a little pick-me-up? Well, maybe it'll be for sale here someday. South African company announced the world's strongest coffee, containing a staggering caffeine content. It's now available in the United States. It's Black Insomnia Coffee, first available in South Africa last year, announced a deal with Amazon to bring the ultra-caffeinated beans to the U.S. market. Company said it has submitted its bean to scientific tests to ensure the brew contains 702 milligrams of caffeine per 12-ounce cups, several times the 150 milligrams in the average cup of coffee, and beating previous claimants to the world's strongest coffee throne, Death Wish Coffee, with 660 milligrams. So, yeah, if you want to be jittery, have a couple cups of that. So, yeah, if you, so it's called Black Insomnia Coffee Company. So, yeah, if you're having a little trouble sleeping, you don't need that little, what do they call it, 5-hour stuff or whatever it is. Yeah, Jolt Cola. You ain't kidding. I call people buy Mountain Dew when I'm at the golf course now. I call it green coffee. So it says, here's a little thing. Don't come crying to us if you can't handle the kick. The company said our beans may taste great. They may be smooth with the flavor of nuts and caramel, but if you can't handle, they kick it. It may just not be for you. For those who can, we're happy to be here for you. Yeah, so if you get a little tired, have your little coffee, wake you up. They have, what I'm going to do is save the Drexel tweet for another time. But I don't know who really thinks that this makes a difference. It says, this is according to the Telegraph. It says, got a sweet tooth? Why waiting 25 seconds removes a craving for chocolate. It says, pausing for just 25 seconds before buying a chocolate bar can be enough to see off the craving in favor of a more healthy snack. New research suggests. I don't know where the hell they're talking about. As it scientifically installed a countdown timer on the machines, forcing customers who had ordered chocolate for unhealthy products to wait 25 seconds before the items become available. They were able to change their mind and select a healthy snack at any point during the countdown, which then become instantly available. Meanwhile, those who selected something healthy in the first instance were not forced to wait at all. So I don't know how they think 25 seconds is going to stop them from waiting for a candy bar. That's a chocolate bar. I don't. Yes, said no fat kid ever. That's right. 25 seconds is no time. I mean, at all. It's not like they're going to go, I can get the salad right now? Well, darn it, I'll get that. So, yeah, as I can eat the styrofoam packing pellets. So, well, it's hard to believe it's been an hour already. Time flies. We're going to go out with, what was it, Alaska Boy? And I didn't even know this was a contest. I didn't know you could do it because I tell you what, I would have been able to have a chance at it when I was a kid. But Alaska Boy wins 42nd annual, and I didn't know that tell you, it's been going on for 42 years, the National Rotten Sneaker Contest. He was a boy from Alaska. His smelly sneakers earned him the title of Smelliest Soul at the Odor Eaters 42nd National Rotten Sneaker Contest in New York. How do you get involved in that contest, and how do you even get a chance to win it? That's what I have no idea. How do they go, oh, wow, those smell raunchy. We're going to fly you to New York. You know? So, whatever. And to win, he's got this award around his neck with a kind of a gold-colored sneaker on it. So, whatever. I guess somebody got the claim to fame. So, all right, well, everybody have a great night, great weekend. Be safe. We'll see you on Monday. If you see something, say something. But if not, let's see Go Cubs Sunday. And hopefully we can have a Cubs win Monday. When we get there, we can fly the W flags. So everybody have a great night. So we'll see you later. Got to grab the right mouse to be able to turn on the music there. Here we go.